The Ultimates kicked some Nazi ass this week, and we all rejoice because the best Big Two comic on stands is back. But did we think that this issue was the best of the bunch? We're going to talk about that and a lot more here on today's edition of Pals Pulls. And while, yes, I am back and I'm happy to be here, and we have the rest of the pals that you are always familiar with, we actually have a special guest today joining us for only the second time ever we have a guest on this show. But we had to bring
Oh yeah.
Maddie along. You know Wonder Maddie from the Near Mint Condition channel. You know her, you love her. Maddie, thank you so much for joining. How are you doing?
Oh my God, what a intro. Thank you. Good.
You're
Thanks for
welcome.
having me. You guys are the only live comic show I've ever just watched.
You
Okay.
mentioned that, yeah.
Is this?
I know I've done quite a few. I don't typically just like hang out and watch one. So
I think you're
you
officially
guys
the
are
first
good.
person to stumble upon our show and then be on it. So
I It worked out great. It's a quick turnaround.
yeah,
Yeah, that's how it happens. I was on the channel last week. We did the old reader, new reader, which was very fun. You guys should go check that out. And now you're here. We're doing each other's channels.
Okay. I actually read floppies for you guys that weren't the two that I have on my pull list. So
wait, physically or
Yeah.
digitally?
I do digitally because I don't have time, but I pick
Hell
up
yeah, okay.
physical
Oh,
for
well.
Green Arrow and Titans consistently. So
Okay.
Titans. The
To be
current
fair.
Titans?
yeah, current Titans.
Oh, how's Borneo treating you?
That's no, you're like 2 runs
Arcs
past.
back.
Not even arcs. Kale's in 2023 still.
Yeah.
Still.
All right.
You know what?
Go ahead.
I have to say though, I'm with Maddie here. I have become a crossover convert.
In this
I
economy?
Yeah.
I have well, you're telling me. I have begun my my physical New Gods collection.
Oh,
There you go.
hell yeah.
So-
Oh.
So select things. Okay.
Well,
Still,
I
hey,
mean,
it's still physical.
in
For
this economy,
Barda, yeah, I'm typically a trade waiter, so it's
Yeah.
this is different.
And for Barda is a lot of the reasoning for anything we do on the show.
Oh,
So you're right.
True.
anything for her. I lift weights for Barda. That is the only reason.
That's something all 4 of us should maybe also take that advice.
yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Luna says, so does this mean we have to behave today? Yes. Maddie being here means we have to behave today. Everybody put on your she's shaking her head no. Well, look, then you'll get a flavor of the comics, pals, depending on
Let's
how this stream goes.
go.
You never know. We have
Count them.
six of this week's biggest releases on tap. We talked about the Ultimates. That's the first review up on the docket. We're going to talk Doctor Strange of Asgard, number 1. The Uncanny X-Men, number 11. It's part 1 of the X-Manhunt event that we're all so excited for. We've got Secret 6, number 1. Been waiting for that for a while. The listener pick winner this week, JSA, number 5. And Hyde Street, number 4. So we've got some pretty good books on tap today. Make sure you guys smash that like button if you enjoy what we do around here. Those of you who tuned in earlier to the Near Mint Condition stream saw me on there talking about these solicits. Thank you if you are joining us from over there. Hope you have a great time. Let's get into the first book. Let's talk Ultimates number 10. This is written by Dennis Camp with art by Federico Blee. Of course, I'm sorry, not Federico Blee, Juan Frigeri on the art, Federico Blee on the colors. Now, this issue of this book, sticks on the Ultimates crashing a Red Skull gang meeting, for lack of a better term. And it's all sort of told through the eyes of the first Human Torch, Jim Hammond. We get to see into his mind a little bit. While the Avengers infiltrate this base, they come across the Grand Skull, who is keeping in tradition of there being a main skull. This group takes its inspiration from the original Red Skull, but also from Frank Castle, the Punisher. So that's an interesting wrinkle in it. And there is a very, very compelling revelation at the end of the book. Maddie, why don't you kick us off with your thoughts? First of all, have you been reading Ultimates? Do you enjoy it? And what do you think of this issue?
So here's what I'll disappoint everybody. There are two things on the list of this I did not get a chance to read. One, I tried to. Ultimates, I
Okay.
did try to, and I was reading from the beginning of it, and I was like, I can't. And so then I was like, I'll take the L on this one because I couldn't stand it to begin from the beginning of it. I was like, I'm sorry, guys, I can't get over here to 10. So that's my bad. I'll let you guys talk about Ultimates.
No worries. All
I'll
right.
jump in some of the other ones. It's not for me.
Maybe we can sell you. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, I'll listen in. Maybe you guys change it.
I genuinely give it a try outside of the pressure of being on somebody's show, because this is consistently our favorite book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I'll try again.
Although,
So,
the cadence of these last couple issues has been interesting. And I don't know if it's good interesting or not. This is another one of those issues where it feels like we're taking the Ultimates on a quick little jaunt somewhere else for a quick spell, just to help build out the world. And like I think the past 3 issues have been kind of like that. And that's not to say that it's not good. I think it is. Like it's literally the premise is, hey, we have stuff to do that is big picture and big plot for this whole story we've been telling with the Maker and all that. But hey, we found some Nazis, so if you see Nazis, you got to take your time out to go and kill those Nazis.
You gotta punch a Nazi.
I mean, you can't. You can't. So I think
I'm back in. I'll read it now.
yeah, that's kind of the whole premise. And like, I do like how they sell the book on that too. Like they acknowledge, like, hey, we're not doing what we were doing the past couple issues, but we can't not kick some Nazi ass. So it justifies itself in a funny way. I thought maybe some of the B plots with, you know, the Grand Skull and Cap's realization of that, that seems almost similar to the previous issues where like they're building stuff out. I don't know when we're gonna get to that again. So I feel like there's a lot. Like we got, what letter are we up to? Maybe like an R plot at this point with the series. There's kind of threads everywhere that I just don't know when that payoff will be. But as a whole, this issue continues to be really good.
See, I think that I enjoyed this issue because similarly, it's one of those that takes us and fills out and fleshes out the world. I do think that this one has a bit more like returnability, or we'll come back to these moments because of the reveal in the end. Like that just carries so much weight. There's so much involved in that I think you can't not play into it in the grand scheme of the Ultimates in the world. And so I definitely had fun. It wasn't I think the maybe not unevenness, but I like the way you said the pacing of this, right? Where we've slowed down. It's not necessarily where progressing the story as much as fleshing out the world. I did start to feel that here, but it was a good romp. I had fun, so it didn't bother me as much. I wouldn't want to do this for the next 2 or 3 issues, because at that point my mind starts to go, well, hold on a second, don't we have like 8 months left? Like the clock is ticking, and we need to start seeing when these guys level up. And my thought started to be, are these the stories that they're trying to convince us of they're leveling up adequately? So I'm a little,
Are they leveling up? Or are they grinding trash? You know, like
you know what I mean? Yeah. Like you're not hitting, the gym leaders as much as you're in the weeds still on Viridian Road or some shit. So like,
I don't think
yeah,
Viridian
hell
Road
yeah.
was a place, but I
Nice.
get the reference.
like, and that's what I feel at the moment. So I'm having fun, but let's start to get to like, let's start fighting some other trainers. Let's start getting to the gym leaders a little bit. And this didn't feel yet like we got to that level.
Let me call out some super chats here real quick, because I want to get, so let's get Matt Fisher's out of the way. Matt Fisher, thank you. 49 twice, right? Yeah. I wanted to say something else, but the censor wouldn't let me. But then proceeds to disregard the censor and say, Sean, every show without you is like a million kicks in the crotch.
Thank you, Matt. For me,
Hey,
they're
Matt, what
also
the
like
hell?
they're also like a million kicks in the crotch. I hate missing shows, and but the guys did a great job without me, so it's all good.
That's up. Thank you.
Yeah, Matt, just because after I hosted the show last weekend and went over and kicked you in the crotch does not mean you can just out it like that. Jeez.
I really appreciated the perspective of Jim Hammond in this issue. I felt like his perspective is something we haven't seen through the whole of the series. Whereas I feel like we've been with Cap quite a bit, so it was really cool to see how ruthless and violent he is compared to Cap, because he's filtered through World War II memories and then the horror of the internet. And I think it was a really interesting juxtaposition that was refreshing for our cast. But I'm still with Marco, and I said this the last issue, 2 weeks ago. Come on.
I loved this. I thought this was fantastic. This was one of my favorite issues of the book so far. Um, Jim Hammond is a character that really, even in mainline, doesn't get a lot of play. And he's more just fills out that World War II era, establishing that there were heroes and things at that time. So bringing him into the modern age and making him confront similar things to what Captain America deals with, but from a different perspective. Like, Cap retains a lot of his memories from the past, but Jim Hammond can't, because the kind of machine that he is, he had to delete files. And that sucks. Like, if you had a computer from 1940 whatever, you'd probably have to delete some files too. So his brain isn't all there. All of the things he knows aren't all there, and I think that makes for a very compelling character.
I don't even think you got files on a 1940s computer. That's like the thing that printed out that matrix sheet for the Willy Wonka golden ticket.
I feel for that because I got to clear my floppies all the time, dude.
I don't want to know where you put them.
Right where you think you would.
Yeah, thank you.
No. Oh no.
I think that perspective is also interesting because you're right. It's locked to like a certain era, and we also just recently read for the book club, Captain America, and in that there are these moments where we reflect back the Edward Baker run, Steve Epting, and we reflect back on how actually truly violent the situations were. Like, we open with Hitler dying and how that played out, right? Like, so there, I think that sits. I think that sits. There you go. Yeah, there you go. And that leans into that starts to straight off right into the story of, well, this is where Hammond sits. This is how he experiences the world. So that part was interesting. And I definitely think, like, I felt it when Namor was just like stacked up, dude, like a dried fish on a wall. That was wild.
I mean, you look pretty good still. Like,
Yeah,
if I want to go out, it's not the worst way.
I guess trophy.
Yeah, the Namor inclusion I thought was really interesting too, that he's been hung up on a wall like any other fish that you would catch and put on a wall as a prize. I thought that was interesting, and I've never felt sad for Namor before this issue. Like, I normally just hate the guy, but here it's like, oh man, you're being hung up and shown by the Red Skull gang. That sucks.
I was kind of hoping he'd do like a big mouth Billy Bass situation, but I'm glad they didn't go that far.
Did they give you Team Aqua vibes?
These are the most hokey Nazis ever in this book. They're the most bumbling, fumbling idiots. The Grand Wizard is like 5 foot nothing. He's, I mean, can I spoil who it is, Sean? Is that fine, or you want to just leave?
We can get to that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But I also kind of like that. Like, yes, it's Nazis, but nothing about these Nazis are cool. Which it shouldn't. That's the way it should be. They're not cool, there shouldn't be anything that some impressionable youth who has a horrible YouTube algorithm can see themselves in. You know, like they're doofuses. Even John Walker, who shows up briefly in it, very briefly, the 616's U.S. agent, he gets a flamethrower to the face, and he's done immediately. So I like that a bit about it.
And it's Jim Hammond who gives no quarter. Like he has no empathy whatsoever for Nazis. They might as well be as inhuman as he is. He just burns his face off. He doesn't give a damn. I love that. Even Cap is like, "Whoa, dude, that was a little much."
This is also like the most characterization I've had in a Jim Hammond book ever. Like anytime I've seen him, he's just a weapon, you know? He's just a guy.
He's got less characterization than Vision.
Yeah.
And bringing up Vision, I think, that's a good character to compare him to, because he definitely feels like he's playing a Vision-y role, a machine that's more thoughtful, that has, you know, some weight to his dialogue and stuff like that. I'm really interested in how they're going to utilize him going forward. The other thing that this issue does really well, though, is through the eyes of Jim Hammond, we get to look at the other Avengers, or Ultimates, I should say. And he, you know, speaks briefly about like the Wasp and Hank Pym. And it's interesting how he characterizes them. He says that the Wasp is sure of herself, she's confident but not cocky, and, you know, she gets the job done. And we see her, she's in that guy's ear, flying around, just blasting his insides, right? But then when it comes to Hank, you know, he's in a guy's ear too, but he's unsure of himself. And Jim Hammond says he's probably going to die soon as a result of that. I felt like that was some foreshadowing on Dennis Camp's part.
I mean, yeah, this Hank's kind of an oaf. Eventually we got to have a death.
I think that was a swerve. I think that is too. Yeah. Yeah, like let us say that for him, because we can see those things, and then really affect a character that we might love, who's a real player, to the extent that now Hank has to decide whether or not he steps up. And I think that's good character conflict.
As long as he doesn't fridge Wasp to do that. I don't need any more Hank Pym character growth that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
No more negative, no more abusive character growth, please.
You can kill off someone else, but I don't know. Just maybe Hank Pym just needs to be the guy in the chair too. I don't know.
Well, looks like Tony's gonna be that guy in the chair.
True. Yeah, he's just strapped up.
Yeah, that was a little. Oh god, that was a little jarring. Like, we went from Tony kind of being awake at the end of the last issue. It seems like he was stirring, and then now he's just there. You know, he's healing. That wasn't a moment. Him coming back wasn't a moment.
The monthly thing strikes again.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like we don't have time for moments, except that's all this book is.
And I'm still frustrated that they didn't commit to getting him off the board. Like, I think that there was a lot that they could have done there. So it's playing out however it's going to play out. But I wish that was the first point of commitment for character death for this team.
And then, you know, they fight the Grand Skull, and he's kind of a loser. He's kind of loserish. He's got a voice modifier that includes like some hypnotic phrasing and things like that, and sounds that make people join the gang. And I like that inclusion, that it's, as much as there are people who are inclined to this kind of belief system, there is also some hypnotic work going on to make people join this. But towards the end, after they give Namor a water burial, Jim Hammond realizes that the voice he was hearing from the Grand Skull is that of Bucky Barnes.
I liked it. I thought that was good. And before we expound a bit more on that, I loved the transition, the word balloon going from black to gray to then this like shaded white to then white, to be able to distinguish, oh, the voice modulator is off and has changed over the course of that time. That was cool. Very, very subtle. Love that part. And I liked the Bucky inclusion. I think that makes sense. It's going to build up drama, and that's what I mean by this is a good one where compared to something like the Guardians of the Galaxy, we're going to see him again. Obviously, right? He escapes, but it's going to be of consequence down the line. Where he was kind of a pushover here, he will come back in a fuller force.
It's also kid Bucky still. At least that's what it's alluding to based on like his height, right? Because compared to Steve, I think he's still young Bucky, which is a different wrinkle. Again, I think any Stucky fans probably won't care much for this. They can't really ship these two in this universe. But I think
Stucky fans are nasty.
that's true. They'll find a way. So it's yeah, I think it's an interesting little bit. But I don't know where it's going to pay off. That's my issue.
I think it's just groundwork for the future. You know, there will be an Ultimate Universe, presumably post Maker, and there's gonna be stuff to do. And I think a lot of that is what we've seen Dennis Camp seed throughout these 10. I would like to see there be more of a through line and see where these characters are headed. It does feel like all the Ultimate books are in a weird place until the Maker comes back, but I still thought this was really, really strong comics. I love this issue. I hesitate on pick of the week, but I am going to think about it a little bit more because there was another book we read that was fire. But it is absolutely an easy pull for me.
Yeah, definitely a pull.
Pull.
I think it was my pick of the week.
Oh, whoa. You start out like that, and then all of a sudden you're the pick of the week?
I
Well,
didn't,
I
I
mean,
didn't
listen.
disparage it.
Smashing Nazis is already pick of the week.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's not your pick of the week, Marco. What do you have against
This
that?
is
huh?
interesting.
Okay, all right,
Little-
slow
little
down.
reverse
I'm the
Uno
robot,
card.
remember?
Yeah.
I killed him.
Unreal.
It's a Creature Commandos reference.
No.
Marco just has really robotic tendencies and
Ah.
personality. So actually, that's the
I-
least robotic thing about you.
Yeah, I squeak every once in a while, so.
Good to know.
Matt Fisher with the 199 says maybe the Maker made John Cena turn heel. I never considered that. I didn't consider that, Matt. Thank you for sharing. It could be. We're going to talk a little bit about Elimination Chamber later because I was there.
What?
Maddie, are you a wrestling fan?
Yeah.
Stop it.
We're
Well,
best friends, Sean. You should
Oh
know
my
the
God, I
same
think-
person.
it's the Step
I
Brothers
think
quote.
we.
Just make this the show. Like, what are we doing talking about comic books? You guys have
Other
a
than
whole thing.
garbage.
Oh shit! I didn't realize that. This could be a whole. Yeah, Kale's right. This could be a whole other thing right now. I think we just became best friends, and I wish that we were going to have the time to dive deeply into that subject with you, Maddie. I do want to get your Elimination Chamber thoughts though in a little bit. Tyler, were we going to jump in there with?
I just wanted to get Matt's other super chat 199. He said, "If the wasp gets eaten, I'm going to riot." I mean,
I'm not touching that one. It's too easy. It's
we
too
all?
easy. I'm not going to do it.
it's fine.
Don't touch it.
It's fine.
I definitely misread that comment at first, so and I was like, hold up.
I don't know if
I
Matt's
wasn't-
that type, but yeah.
Wasn't there a tease of her getting eaten? Was it an Ultimate Invasion or
Irredeemable Ant-Man.
Wasn't
Yeah.
it the first issue?
of this? Yeah,
thi-
yeah, it might have been. Yeah, where
I
they
think
tease.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody was it? Somebody swallowed her, like she went in someone's mouth, right?
was that
No, it
big,
was the
uh,
Hulk where she was fighting the Hulk.
Oh, yes.
Oh, was that what it was?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
The fists or whatever.
Okay. All right.
Oh
Very
boy,
good, very good.
adding terms to
There's
this.
fisting in this book?
There we go.
Oh,
All right, I was
my
keeping it
God.
subtle,
Guys.
Cale.
This is fun because on Near Mint we can't talk about that or vor. So this is
Well, we
this
can't.
is
We
a
can't
totally-
hear either.
Oh, good to know.
No, we can.
we do. I don't know if we should, but we definitely do. But I thought we were gonna clean it up because Maddie's here. I thought that was what we all agreed to.
Cale,
What do you call?
no-sold
What do
that.
you call these fights? I don't. They're fisting in all
It-
these books we
oh,
talked about.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
my
Cale's like
goodness.
a Catholic man. Yeah, it's short for fisticuffs. That's what they call it
Yeah.
where Cale is.
Come on. Yeah.
It's a British
There you
thing.
go.
Yeah.
Matt Fisher with another 199 and simply says John Stamos.
Sure.
I don't want to know what that's a reference to.
Me neither. Hey, Uncle Jesse was the man though on Full House.
It's rare that
No?
I'm even stumped, and I got nothing for that one either.
You got all right. All right.
Judge-
No. We're all on board with Uncle Jesse. That's
No, yeah, that's fine.
yeah,
that's
yeah,
fine.
yeah. That's
Okay. I was like, damn, don't let me find out now he did something.
I just assumed he has.
I just know he's like
Just in
a
case.
yeah. He's like a Disney adult. I think actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
cancel him.
Uncanny Suit with the 199 says good housekeeping. What is that?
The magazine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keeping it clean.
My man Young Dende with the 199 says Ultimates would be pick of the week, but Jedi Knights cleared. Really?
Interesting.
Jedi
Ooh.
Knights.
I have it downloaded. I haven't read it yet. I've been on a reading
Okay.
spree lately, though, so I'm going to
Is-
get to it sooner than later.
Is Jedi Knights High Republic, or is that just?
No, it's right. I think it's right before episode 1. So it's got your
Oh.
boy Qui-Gon. It's got Count Dookie as a Jedi.
It's got Yaddle.
Who?
No, Yaddle. Nobody's a Yaddle
Oh,
fan
yeah,
here?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
right.
Oh, okay.
So the poll results are pretty clear. Ultimates number 10, 46 or 36% of you said pull. 34% didn't buy or read. Pick of the week, though, 16% and 12% of you passed. So, all right. I would like to see that didn't buy or read number go down. I think more people should be picking this up.
Agreed.
100%. Okay, so we're going to get to the next book, but real quick, want to let you guys know patreon.com/thecomicspals is the best way to support the show. If you enjoy what we do over here, you can head on over there. And one of the things you get to do is vote in the book club poll, which is up right now. It's Bendis month. Bendis is coming here. And oh my
Sean,
goodness.
come on.
Maddie, do you want to leave yet? Are we
No, this is great.
And so there are 4 options that you guys can choose. We've got New Avengers by Bendis, Ultimate Spider-Man, Alias, and Daredevil. So one of those Marvel books is going to win the poll. Which one? It's up to you. Make sure you guys head on over there and vote. Yeah, go for it, Tyler.
Yeah, so Hayden's Hideout had a super chat earlier, but we were kind of in the flow of the discussion. But he did say his pick of the week is Two-Face number 4. A fun court case between the Two-Face and Harvey personalities, which also elaborates on his childhood.
Oh, cool.
I wish I liked that book.
Damn, about to say you might have to go back to it, huh?
That'll be one that I'll at least get a read. For
Yeah,
me,
wait till it's
anyway.
collected.
I'm not gonna wait that long.
DC,
I don't want to read that issue. I'm
you might
not
be on
interested
your-
in anything else.
you might be in hospice by the time DC publishes that trade.
Well, I mean on DC Universe.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Maddie, what books are you reading on DC Universe app?
Anything I can get my hands on. Usually random things. I'll go back and read like graphic novels I haven't read yet because I'm a recent DC Universe person. So I'm trying to catch up on a lot of like storylines right now that I've missed. A lot of like World's Finest because I own them, but I want to read up to now. A lot of like New Gods, of course. Anything with Big Bard in it. Birds of Prey, I'm really digging. And then a lot of like the YA stuff too. I like to kind of like go through them. And usually half of them are good, and then half of them are.
Yeah. It's hit or miss.
Yeah, but there's some really good ones in there. And then just random ones I'm like, I'll try it. It's on the list. Then sometimes it's not great. Fire and Ice, it's not great. But that's,
Oh,
give it a try.
I think we tackled that one on
No.
the show. Yeah,
don't give it a try.
Oh,
there's a new Fire
Oh,
and
no.
Ice coming out. So
it just, man, they tried to do like a Marvel She-Hulk thing and it didn't land, And I was like, I don't like these two. You failed me.
Yeah, I thought I would like it because I like them in Human Target, but it was a totally different vibe. Completely different situation.
Not great. And then Absolutes I'm reading, but just Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Batman didn't really work with me. I'll catch up on Superman. I'll read Flash, but Absolute Wonder Woman I like a lot.
Thank you.
You don't like Absolute Batman, huh?
No.
Hmm.
It's
What's
just
not working?
landing.
I love your face right now.
I don't know. That's not my type of Batman for one. Like I just don't see anything he might enjoy or care about. Like the whole I'm one of the poorest now of all my friends. And then I'm like, but that doesn't that part of your personality where you have money or not doesn't affect you in a way that I care about. Like it doesn't. You're just not you. I'm more of a Bat family person, anyways, than Batman himself, personally.
Okay, yeah.
The poors can afford shotguns that shoot batarangs, right?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
this economy,
Yeah, you get that 1 week, and then the second week you eat ice soup for the rest of the week.
Of course.
Yeah.
Naturally. I don't know. It just seems so edgy for no reason. And I don't care for that kind of stuff. At least Wonder Woman, she's her at her core, despite you changing things, which I think is a way more interesting conversation. To be like, what if you change everything and Wonder Woman's still her?
Hmm.
And she's more buff. Plus
Yeah, there's
10
a
points.
plus.
Hell yeah.
And have you seen her sword? That shit got big.
This is a cloud strife woman now.
Oh,
She's
Yep.
so cool.
Yes.
Yep. Love it.
I've got a
Uh,
Buster sword in my basement. That's not a euphemism. There is one.
You really do?
Yeah.
Can you
Of course I
carry?
do.
Like, is it heavy as shit?
No.
Okay.
It's made out of foam, so we can carry it.
All right. Jack asks, which Bendis book would Maddie vote for?
Out of those ones,
Yeah.
Ultimate Spider-Man probably.
Yeah.
I'm more of a. I mean, yeah, those are my favorite Bendis ones.
What's your favorite Bendis stuff?
I have a favorite Bendis. He's not my favorite.
Okay.
But I have been hanging out with Omar too. Like, that's the problem. Omar is a forever
yeah.
Bendis hater, like notoriously.
Yeah.
I mean, we read Bendis Daredevil like just recently. I like that just fine, and I liked his when he brought back some of like new DC weird line he did of stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
The what was
I
that
read comic books a
called?
lot,
Young
and I
Justice?
couldn't tell you what anything is called.
Checkmate.
Checkmate. and Young
Event
Justice.
Leviathan.
Yeah. That was fun.
No, it wasn't.
You should get Omar to read Bendis's X-Men run.
I actually was okay with that, but I'm not going to tell him that because he's going to fight me in the streets.
No,
So
fair.
Ben Loudly with the 5 spots has finally caught up on New Gods. Evan Cagle is now another one of my favorite artists that don't have enough published interior work. Well, thank you, Ben. The incredible thing about Evan Cagle is that he really just got started doing interiors.
Mhm.
So for him to be this good this early is pretty impressive. It'll be cool to see what he's doing 5 years from now.
Was he doing concept art before this?
Believe so.
I think so.
Like
Rom
games and
found
stuff.
him somewhere. Yeah, I think it was in gaming, possibly. Yeah.
I think even I want to say The Witcher was like some stuff he did, maybe covers at most.
Interesting.
All right, let's jump into our second book, Doctor Strange of Asgard, number 1. Maddie, did you get to this one?
I did. I read
Awesome.
everything except for Ultimates and Hyde Street because everything else was
Awesome.
easily available.
Fair enough. This is written by Derek Landy with art by Carlos Magno, colors by Espen Gruntjern, letters by Corey Pettit. So obviously, Doctor Strange post Blood Hunt, he got his Sorcerer Supreme title taken from him. Rather, he gave it to Doctor Doom in the most loserish move of all superheroes in 2024.
He just got outsmarted. He didn't even get it stolen from him. He literally gave him it.
Yeah, exactly. And so now Doctor Strange needs something to do. And he decides he's going to go to Asgard and become the Sorcerer Supreme of Asgard.
Can we all
Yippee.
agree he just white saviored this for no reason?
Yeah.
He was just like, hey, y'all don't even have this. Y'all
He
need
whi-
me. And they're like, we're fine. He's like, nah, listen.
He white saviored white people land. These are Vikings. They don't get whiter.
It's true.
I think
Yeah.
you're literally right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maddie, what'd you think of this?
I have fun. I always have fun in Asgard. I'm a huge I'm not always a big Thor fan. But I'm always a fan of being in Asgard and exploring this part of it. I loved War of the Gods, all those things. But I think I'm interested. I'm not sold. I'm not a huge fan of the art. I think it's cool, but it's not exactly my type of art. I'm more excited to see what comes from this and how magic's going to work, with Doctor Strange using his magic. How is his magic going to work with Asgardian magic, and what's that going to look like, and how is he going to uniquely interact with it? I I don't know. I was kind of bummed Loki showed up at the end. Sorry, I spoiled it, but
I want to talk about that part actually.
I was kind of like, oh, okay. Well, but I'm interested to see where it's gonna go. But I need some more oomph first.
For me, the Loki of it all kind of bugged me. It was because in the text of what they're telling you in the story, they reference Immortal Thor and how Loki isn't the Skald anymore, and like it's a big part of Immortal Thor's run right now. Like Loki got shunted away by Thor, and then they just show up here anyway.
Yeah.
It's like stick with that. So that annoyed me as like an Immortal Thor reader too. And okay, I like Carlos Magno. I think I enjoyed his work on, I think it was Zdarsky's Invaders as an artist. Did some really great like war comic stuff there. And like the Namor stuff, and that was fun. I'm not sure I like it here. And I think the cover kind of sells me a different story completely.
Yes.
It's
Thank
the
you.
most colorful cover I've seen, like in the list of books I'm reading this week. And I open it up, and it's like, I hope you like mud, because even Doctor Strange doesn't have his cloak, so he doesn't get to have, be that colorful part of his costume there. Everything was just a little too brown for me, and
Hard agree.
it took me out of it. It was weird, like a color, like where coloring takes me out of a book. It's like we're in Asgard. Like it popped when they're finally, Doctor Strange got to use magic, but it's just the same Doctor Strange runes. So like, yes, that's cool, but that's standard for Doctor Strange at this point. I don't know. If I don't want a Doctor Strange book, I want like early, like I want like it like color is integral to the character since his creation, essentially. So taking him out of that took me out of the story. Yeah, I wasn't too hot on this book, honestly.
This was almost pick of the week.
Because you're colorblind, right?
Sorry?
It's because you're colorblind, right? You only see green.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I liked the like this kind of like muddier, muted palette. It felt more Skyrim, like outside cold blue, the inside warmer orange, brown tones. It felt like it made sense for the environments. I definitely understand the critique of Thor is historically colorful, right? There the whole rainbow bridge, right? All of this stuff and it bleeding that in the pages, I get. But that's not a Thor. This isn't a Thor story, right? It's the environment, sure, but this is under the view of Doctor Strange and like what Steven's going through and how he's going to decide to do things. And so, from that end, I thought it worked really well, all the way through. And except I think I agree with you guys where it took me out was the Loki part because they said he wasn't, they weren't, and all of a sudden we're back in, and then the whole I didn't do it. Okay. Where are we going
I
with this
snuck
story?
away where Thor can't see me.
Yeah, like
Okay.
it felt convenient, almost contrived, and so I really liked that we were leading up to this point of just we're gonna swap out the magic. Oh, here's a really good idea. Here's what this is, and then is that not going somewhere? Okay, I felt like where I was getting to by the end, that swerve felt more like the rug getting pulled from under me than it did. Here's the like I'm turning the corner and I'm surprised.
I fell asleep reading this, and then I had to go outside and stand in the sun, and then I ended up doing like house chores. And to be honest, I found that more entertaining. I just did not have a good time reading this book, and then the art didn't help at all. The art to me weirdly felt like an older style. Like it doesn't feel like it belongs in this era.
The coloring felt like the Brubaker's Cap run.
Yeah, and then like there's some of the panels that felt very Diodato.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
And it just like it I when you said the cover sells you on a different art style and story, I really felt that. Yeah, this did not do anything for me.
I I guess I'll go against the grain. I kind of like this. I thought it was fun. I didn't mind the colors at all because, I always think of Asgard as having different flavors, and I think that this is just a different flavor of what we get in Asgard. So I was cool with that. I never have enjoyed too much of Landy's writing. He's a name that I tend to avoid, but I found myself, kind of laughing here and there. And I enjoyed the script overall, Doctor Strange in a new environment. It does feel a little gimmicky for me. It's kind of like the Eight Deaths of Spider-Man thing. Like, I'm not really that into the gimmick of Strange going to Asgard, but now there's this murder mystery. Who killed, Hold, I think her name is?
Hulda.
Holta.
Yeah.
And so that is kind of compelling. Doctor Strange is this outsider, and now he has to deal with this murder mystery and the fact that he's probably going to be the one blamed for this. A lot of setup in this issue, but I like what it's setting up, and I do think there could be something interesting here in the future.
I just also kind of like bugs me that like we're in One World Under Doom. It's part of the cover, it has the banner on it, so we're in that era, and he just deuced out of there, like that feels out of character for him. It's like alternate reality if I decided to actually move up to Canada after the election last year, even geographically the way it looks, and I just don't think that felt like in character for Strange, especially with the previous Jed MacKay run, which I thought like, nailed Strange and Clea, and also like no Clea in here, so like it kind of removes the supporting cast with any real. Marco's a Clea hater, jeez. You just waved her away. Don't need her.
I love Clea.
There's no bats. You got rid of the dog. Like, I don't know. Maybe I am a fan of the previous run, and this being a complete, rubber banding of it also added to my distaste for it.
Do you think this would be served like? Because I could see, as you built a mystery, and if we had like an issue later on, I could see like they're trying to do like the hook right away, right? If later on we have at least an issue that's like a flashback of like what led him to be so sad, he's like, I gotta get another job, man. Like I gotta go up. I don't know, like have the lead in at least to see like what brought him here. I could get into. Like I want to see why.
Maybe.
But I like those people moments I always get. But I like to see what made you so down bad that you're like, well, I'll go up here, I guess.
He even says, like, I want to go hang out with Thor, who I barely hang out with. Like it's like you're so depressed, you start hitting up your friends your friends' friends who you hung out with the party like once or twice.
I don't even know why Thor was so cool with it. That bothered me too. But I'm too used to other Thor runs. I'm like, he's just like, yeah, that's cool, man.
I think it didn't. One thing that also felt off was I felt like I was sort of waiting for him to say, "Oh no, I have to go fix this," because I gave Dr. Doom the thing, and I never felt like he did.
And I feel like that was a part of where I thought the story was going, was he's not admitting to it. Or at the very least, like the ownership is very light. And what he's going to do is he's trying to like weasel his way into fixing the thing when he could have just been, spoken plainly. He's trying to have these machinations that you don't really need to have. And I think by the end of it not even being about that, like, because the purpose of finding Hulda was so he could level up, he could get that learning, he could understand that, right? And now we're not getting that. So okay, again, you're turning this on me, and fine, you set up enough. I think I'll give enough grace just because you've set up enough to be able to get me to the next issue. But now it has to do a little more work for me next issue to keep me on the hook.
And also, like, he had Asgardian magic powers already, and they even make note of that here. He gives away the branch of Yggdrasil, which was, I think, during Donny Cates' run. So it's like, oh, you had massive Asgardian power before. Like, how much more can you level up? Like, you can't just, like, the Eye of Agamotto is strictly, I believe it's strictly a Earth thing, because Agamotto was a sorcerer from there. So can you even be a Sorcerer Supreme of Asgard? Like, I don't know. I think I'm too far in the weeds.
Title is with Doom anyway, so it's just a title. It's not like
sure, but like it comes with the eye and the cloak as well. It comes with
or he started like a Green Lantern thing where he's like, if I can just get every little area have their own Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah.
We can have like a union. We can all kind of like
Supreme Core sounds actually like a hype beast thing. That doesn't sound like actually to be that cool.
All right, so I'm gonna say pull, but I don't know how excited I am to like come back for the second issue. But I might. It depends.
Pulling. I'm coming back for the second one.
I'm gonna pass, but if there's enough buzz about it, it could maybe pull me back in because I like the character so much.
That's a hard pass for me, dog.
You almost passed away while reading it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a pass, but it's one of those that like I don't mind coming back to it later, but I wouldn't like feel the need to read it as this coming out.
Would you consider the trade down the road?
I would consider reading the trade on Marvel Unlimited.
Okay, fair enough.
Well done.
That's fair enough. The listeners seem to agree because didn't buy or read is 56% of you. Pull is 23, pass is 17, pick of the week is only 2%, so this one not going over well with our listeners.
And I think someone earlier said that their pick of the week vote was a mistake.
Oh yeah, that's
So-
true. So that's that 2%. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Chillmonger says too much title mantle swapping. I'm still turned off when Brother Voodoo calls himself Dr. Voodoo.
Listen, you got to respect the PhD.
Yeah, you can't just steal his PhD away from him. Jeez.
Come on.
Yeah, that's him being Sorcerer Supreme. You know, he's got it. I love that. I love when they bring back Brother Voodoo, although it's too infrequent.
Dr. Voodoo.
Excuse me, Dr. Voodoo. All right. Let's talk about the Uncanny X-Men, number 11. This is written by Gail Simone, with art by not David Marquez, art by Javier Garron, colors or letters by Clayton Cowles, colors by Matt Wilson. So this is the X-Manhunt first issue, part 1 of 7. So we are jumping right into another event, sadly. And this issue focuses on Deathbird, who I love. If you're an old school X-Men fan, you probably got an affinity for Deathbird. But essentially, they're coming after Professor X's and Lilandra's daughter, and Deathbird is trying to save her. This is causing Professor X major agita, even while he is detained at Grey Malkin, and he's gonna break out and go try to save his daughter. And the Uncanny X-Men are essentially reacting to that. Where are you guys on this one?
I liked the parts of this book that had to deal with not X-Manhunt.
Yep.
I think I sing the praises of Gail Simone's ability to write really good characters. And I think the bits where the young people are being trained by Rogue and Rogue's like, nah, just Gambit. Which Gambit doesn't even question her. He's just yes to Rogue all the time. But she just like rocks one of the kids, knocks the wind out of her. And I thought that was like, oh, that's interesting. You know, Rogue's learning how to be a leader here, learning and maybe making mistakes along the way. And I like when they can make human mistakes. Then we go to the prison, which they just go to. They were literally fighting the people like 3 issues ago.
Got Rogue on speed dial.
Yeah, I'm glad there was confusion there because I'm not. I mean, like I read this for today, but I'm not like current on everything
Sure.
happening. I'm just vaguely aware of things, typically. And I was like, did I miss something?
It felt too goody
Because
goody.
they're just hanging out and they're like, now we're there. Now I'm like, is he hallucinating? Are they actually there? I was like, I don't know what is happening. Like I have misread something.
Just hard transition is like a cartoon screen.
Yeah.
We're
Match
there.
cut.
Yeah.
And like they just called him like, hey, we've just been imprisoning mutants. It's fine, just completely normal mutants too, and not a danger to anyone. But we need your help. No questioning, just straight there. That was
Which
just
is a
so
bummer because
out
I'm
of
interested
it.
to see how this works out, but I was like very confused.
Oh,
I
I
like
read
when
all the
he
yeah.
sees them and he's like, Like I can't wait to see this sort of like fight and like how they're dealing with it. But I was like, I don't
Well,
know how we got here.
Spoiler, I read all the X-Manhunt this week. You don't get that. Yeah, he's on Walkabout. It's just Professor X on Walkabout. Yeah, this is a tale of two books for me. I liked the stuff that had nothing to do with X-Manhunt, and I didn't like the stuff that had to do with X-Manhunt. More Deathbird, though. I agree, Sean.
Yeah, I was all about the stuff that was going on in space.
Hell yeah. Give me that book. The Shi'ar
Yeah.
stuff.
Shi'ar is
love
so
that.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it fits so well for X-Men. Like that's just like an era of Claremont stuff that I love. And so I'm like, yo, Gail's in her bag, her Claremont bag right now. Just that first page, the text wrapping around, get your, the whatever the conversation's going on, and then she ends that page with, here for the first time since creation, language is heard. Done. Boom. Sold. And then we get to, yeah, hey, Rogue, or Gambit, fuck her up.
Fuck that kid.
Yeah, dude, what?
Nobody blames Gambit either. Like he just gets away with it. He's a dog. Like he's just the nearby pet. Although yeah, he'd probably wear a leash.
I am frustrated by this series. I started off really hot with it for the first like two like arc and change, but it's just become annoying. I really, really like Gail Simone, and I agree that the bits in space were strong, but it's so little of what we actually get here, and I feel like we just saw the kids in the fake what's it called, Danger Room. We just saw that in a prior issue, so I don't know
Yeah.
why they needed to do that again. It just feels like every X book is spinning their wheels, and Gail's not allowed to do anything interesting. I don't care about Professor X's kid with Lilandra. I don't care that that's the thing that for some reason that he doesn't even see his kid. Professor Xavier's a deadbeat dad, okay? He went for milk and left the planet, all right? And he never went back. And you mean to tell me that that's the fucking thing that makes this guy break out of prison? I don't believe it.
No,
I don't
never.
buy it.
Get the events out of here. Like it's
Seriously.
there's interesting stories here. I don't think you're right
Yep.
about the 2 books. I think we need 2 books. If you're gonna do this, make it separate. I
Yeah.
want to hang out with the kids. And also I want to hang out with the Shi'ar, but I want to do it separately. And give it actual time to do anything. Please.
My new headcanon is that he saw Deathbird needed help, and that's why he escaped.
Yeah, okay.
It ain't about his kid.
No. It's never been about his kid. Yeah.
But see, for me, like the space stuff, even if it were centered around Professor X and he was actually going to do it, like that would be interesting because something would be happening.
I was compelled.
But like Tyler just said, like he's just going on a walkabout. Oh, forget that.
Yeah. So
I don't need that.
I read NYX and I read Storm. I'm up to date on both of the series, and he literally just walks into the book, causes bad shit to happen, and then deuces out, and everyone deals with repercussions. He's just a bad father. Every book has been about how he's like a complicated / bad father figure. And I think like some of them deal with it interestingly, like the themes of it, but the story of what X-Manhunt is confusing. It's just he's just walking places. He's not even in space yet. He hasn't even tried getting a spaceship.
Yeah, he ain't going.
He got the Cerebro helmet and then left Miss Marvel to die.
It's also really aggravating that this series is now focused on Professor X when Professor X is not the point of any of these books. Now the books have to like orbit around him when these books don't need that right now. They need consistency. This is just not the move.
Quick shout out to Chillmonger. He says even in a chair, he walked out of his kid's life.
Damn.
Jesus.
Yo, valid, bro. Valid.
Unreal.
I do want to sing the praises on the art side. I personally thought that this felt like an older style. This felt like it fit the beginning portions, again, more than it did the latter part. But I had a lot of fun. It felt classic. It felt There was a bit of texture on things, almost sandy quality in certain instances, and I like that. I think that the characters all here fit into that style and aesthetic really well. And I think visually, I the all the panels flowed well enough that the text and the lettering around it also allowed for interesting things to happen. So I think the art part was done was made and done really well.
I really like Javier Garron's art. There's a cartooniness that I think is really good here. That like it's just reaction faces upon it almost feels like what Marquez has been doing when he actually gets to do this book is different for Marquez, but this is what Garron's been doing for years, where everyone's a little more animated facially, everyone's a little more cartoony, where it feels more natural for Garron. I like the way Marquez is doing it. Don't get me wrong, but this is. I like if you told me like Marquez is not on the book anymore, it's Garron on the book, I'd be fine with it as long as you let me know that, because it is a bit waiting for Marquez to show up again.
Honestly, I actually preferred this.
I did
There's
too. Yeah.
there's the instance of that one guard and his wife. It's a single panel, super subtle, but it's just there's this like not roundness, but it feels like rubberiness to the art where you're looking down, it's slightly fish-eyed. Her body is large at the front and kind of shrinks around in the back. It feels like I don't see that with the Marquez stuff. That this in even in its static moments feels I mean what's the word, elastic.
I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass. This is just frustrating. No David Marquez. It's an event that I have no interest in. I just feel like Gail's, as try as she might, she cannot save this.
I'm desperate to know what she wants to do with this book.
Oh, I think there's an amazing Gail Simone X-Men book out there. It's just
Yeah.
not this yet,
It's the first 10 pages of this book.
which is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
They gotta let her do it.
Yes.
Let Gail cook is what somebody do hashtags
She's
still
earned
exist?
it.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah. Yeah, hard pass.
Pass.
I'm still gonna pull it because it's X-Men and I can't help myself.
God.
I'm gonna pass and come back, but that's not because it's not good. It's because I don't pick up weekly Marvel books. Sorry. I will come back to it instead.
That's fair.
I don't got that money.
I will unfortunately be back for issue 12. Well, issue 12 is the one drawn by Gavin Guidry.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So we'll be talking.
We
about
gotta.
that.
we definitely have to check in for that. And then after that, we are going to have a vote, and the tribe will speak, and then we will decide if we are keeping this book or dropping it. We have to.
Ooh, it's gonna be like a traders level discourse, or I guess Survivor, if to keep your
Survivor.
Yeah,
Yes,
to keep your
exactly.
analogy going.
Now, Maddie, I know you have to run.
I could give it 10 more minutes.
10 more minutes? Okay, that's actually perfect, because I would love to hear your thoughts briefly, if we can, on the Elimination Chamber. I would love to know what you thought about that event.
I mean, I was really hoping to talk about JSA or Secret Six.
Oh, well,
One of
okay.
the DC books.
All right, you
Before
want
I
to get to
go.
DC?
I am more of a DC girl. I'm doing my best.
Secret
So
Six is
okay,
next.
so let's shift gears and let's talk Secret Six then, so we can get your thoughts on Secret Six, and I will cancel the poll just so we can get the opinions of the audience. Didn't buy or read is 44%, pull is 34%, pass is 18%, and pick of the week is only 2%. So
Misclick.
The 2% is for the milk that Professor X went and got when he left his kids.
oh man. All right, Secret Six, written by Nicole Maines, Steven Segovia on art, colors by Rain Barreto, letters by Steve Wands. So this is a book that largely is built around the triumvirate of John, Jay, John's boyfriend, and Dreamer, who is sort of a friend of theirs who contributed to the death of Jay's mother and father, I think, but something like that. And they now have to team up and go see what's going on with Waller, who's in prison after absolute power. So that's sort of the framing of this. Yeah, Maddie, what did you make of this one?
I'm always excited to see Dreamer. I think she's a really interesting character. And now it makes sense that Nicole. I was like, Nicole Maines, where do I know that name from? I was like, oh, that's Dreamer. The Dreamer that wrote this. Didn't look it up ahead of time. I'm interested. Amorous is gonna go. I do think I'm not connecting with how she's writing John so much in this. He didn't really feel like him as someone who big Superman girl and loves reading about John and other things. It didn't really feel like him to me personally. I'm interested in whatever's happening here as someone who didn't read what preceded this with Dreamer and everyone else. Just because I like her as a character. But so far in this, no one felt like themselves personally to me as someone who's spent time with these characters. Everyone felt, I don't know what she was writing with these characters, but I did not connect personally. I think the art was kind of neat. There was some cool stuff in there. I love the colors, but I feel like I'm reading about a different group, which is kind of a downer about this, because I was stoked to see this sort of team up with everyone.
I was actually this was the first like John Kent title that I was like pumped about for this triangle. And boy, I found it immediately grating. I can't wrap my head around what's going on with John and where he's at. I get, some of the guilt for the absolute power stuff, but Jay was just an annoying preteen to me.
Which is so not like him, I feel like. It just felt very weird.
He's usually level-headed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the one that was talking John down most of the time during like Tom Taylor's run.
Right.
Okay. It didn't even feel age appropriate to me. Like, it felt like, 13-year-olds having a high school spat.
And especially coming off of the special that we all really enjoyed,
Yeah.
for the kind of like tension, but not like argumentativeness. It felt dissonant. I was confused as to like what's the beef here. I thought we had like a potential love triangle going, but now it's just we're all mad at each other.
Well, and I can see some of the anger going, around, but for me it felt so immature. And I gotta say, a lot of the art just did not vibe with me either. I not to keep ragging on Jay, but Jay just what am I saying? The last time we talked about Jay, I had a whole thing about him. I just hate this design.
The superhero costume, or Jay,
All of it.
like
All of
okay.
it.
All right. Well,
He's usually a very stylish guy.
Agree to disagree.
He went into, well, he fits very much to that age range. You know what I mean?
Well, Cale's the old man of the show.
He became very tall sports anime boy out of nowhere, and I was like, "Who's this?
Yeah.
Where's my little man? Where's my little man? Who is this man?"
I want the little
Little.
one.
You sound like all the people complaining about Superboy getting aged up.
That was me. I'm still mad about it. Even if the stories are good, you took my happiness from me, DC.
Yeah, well.
I didn't hate this I didn't. Well, not that you guys hated it. I don't want to put words in your mouth. I didn't dislike this. Well, Cale did. I didn't dislike it as much as you guys did. I did feel like Jay, in terms of if we're looking at this as a love triangle ? They kind of teased that in that absolute power thing, months ago. It's not fully in the text yet, but they might be getting there. But it did seem like Jay was the one complaining a lot. And then it kind of put John in the back seat, I felt, because of that. John does not feel like, yes, he's here, but for the first issue, a lot of it was about Jay and Sleeper, or Dreamer, rather. Sleeper was Cale reading Doctor Strange. And that kind of annoyed me. I actually like the art. I'm strangely, and this is surprising, really into Superboy's new costume. Give me a cool collar, and it just looks cool,
Yeah, I didn't hate this costume.
I think it's different. and it's a
They
little-
had to make him look cooler because Connor Kent is like the
Yeah.
coolest.
yeah,
Like,
it's hard.
he's
It's
so
hard to be
cool.
up next to.
And
next
they
to
were like,
Connor.
we gotta make him more fashionable.
Any iteration of
Connor's
Connor, too.
blowing him out of the water.
So I think that was fine. I wish they would have got the whole cast here together in a way where we can get all the voices, because Deadshot and Catman, who Catman just has a friggin' anvil fall on his head apparently at the end of this.
Yeah, why was I just looked and he was there. I was
Yeah,
like, wait, was
yeah.
he in disguise and took the helmet off and then he was in full costume? That's what I thought happened.
I think they
was
got.
like,
I thought they got transported and they landed on him.
okay.
Yeah.
I was
Teleported.
so confused.
Yeah, they got teleported and they landed on him. Ouch, that would probably hurt. But I had trouble figuring out what exactly happened there. I had to look at it a couple times to be like, okay, I think this is what happened. And I'm a big Catman fan. I love Catman. So I would have liked more of him. But I thought this was a fine book. I didn't dislike this. It's not. I mean, like I wanted DC's Challengers, this is not what that is. Could be.
Oh my god, yeah, that'd be great.
It could be down the line. But
Now I'm sad.
hey, well, we got at least 4 more issues. I don't know how many are solicited yet for this, but it has that potential, and that's what I still kind of want, like that in a superhero comic. Could be fun. Just people arguing and like screwing each other over maybe. And Secret Six kind of was that when Gail Simone did it. It was a lot of like just interpersonal relationships with people who have superpowers. So I'm hoping we can see that in this book. It didn't fully sell me, but enough where I will definitely be picking up the next issue.
I had a lot of fun with this. I'm surprised you guys feel so off on Jay. I thought him being confronted by the person that killed his parents was pretty good motivation to be upset. And the fact that John continues to interact with Dreamer despite what she did, that adds up to me. And I want to see him reacting to that. I think that, like, I never thought about this as a love triangle in the sense of them getting together. I always thought about this as Jay and Dreamer potentially wanting John, but there being problems between Jay and Dreamer. And this book is giving exactly what I thought it would give from that perspective. And then the art, I thought the Segovia art was really good. I'm a fan of Segovia. I always have been. And he draws one hell of a Dreamer. I mean, that's
Dreamer looked
great stuff.
incredible.
Yeah.
Also, are you saying that there? Okay, so I didn't read anything before this, so it probably skews this view at least. Were you saying there's a possibility of a throuple? Because then I can change my mind. If
Yeah,
you're
I don't
telling
think-
me,
I don't think it's
but
gonna be that.
That's DC never lets me have anything.
It's
Yeah,
more
I
like
don't think it's gonna be
John. Yeah, John and Dreamer might have had a bit of a thing.
I see.
While Jay was kind of being super moody, which is like, Jay's mom just died. It's kind of a screwed up thing to do, John. But it's drama.
I think did that happen? Are you talking about what happened in the Absolute Special time?
Yeah, that or Dreamer was like almost dead, and she brings him back. But then there was that hand touch. Remember that? There was like this beat where they were like touching hands. And they looked at each other. I'm like, okay, they're seeing something here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was our reaction, Maddie. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's not following through on some of that.
I just want to know what
now I'm
the
gonna go
Metropolis.
back.
It was very good.
It's a
very
good
single
one
issue.
shot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all you need to know is John had the Brainiac virus in him, and he was being controlled
Yeah.
by Waller. That's all you need to know, and then that'll get you for that issue.
I also was sad they were finding my boy Bizarro. I'm not up to
Oof.
date, so I don't know why. But he's a good boy. You should never fight him. Anyways.
I thought he's a bad boy. Yeah.
No, he's a good boy. Bizarro's a good boy and a friend
So,
and a superhero. No, I don't speak opposite because I'm not Bizarro.
okay.
He would say differently.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anytime
gotcha.
I deal with Bizarro, I overthink it.
Yeah,
and
he
it
would say
bothers
he's
me.
my arch nemesis. I would say he's my best friend in the
Got it.
whole world.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Paul, I will definitely be sticking this series through.
Sean, did you see the Ariel Olivetti cover?
I did not.
Were you a fan? Were you the one that's an Olivetti fan?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay, I thought that was you. Never mind.
Looks good though.
I'm gonna pull because I want to see them get to a point where we get more interpersonal drama, specifically between the three. I don't have an affinity for the other three members here, so maybe through that I'll learn to love. But the trio is grounding me at the moment. Hopefully that allows me to integrate better.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull. I like Nicole Main's and what she's done so far. I'm concerned that this being like her first, out on the road without someone holding her hand, is sort of going this way. But I'm here for the ride, and I can't wait to see Jay go away.
Damn.
Real J hater over here.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, Maddie. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'll say I'm pulled. I'm not actually pull it. I'll read it as I have access to it on DC Universe because I'm interested, and because I do like Dreamer a lot. So I'll try a lot of stuff for Dreamer. And I love characters hanging out and talking a lot.
That's actually what I want more of in this book. That's what I'm worried about Amanda Waller being in it. I'm like, I kind of just want them to be in a house.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can all comics just be like that?
Like,
At least half
remember
of
when
them.
Bane was just laying in bed talking about his feelings in the original Secret Six? Like, that's what I loved.
Exactly. Just like outsiders. I just want them all hang out.
And
Go.
before we let you go, do you want to talk about JSA, Maddie? Do you want to give your thoughts?
I gotta run. I'll say it's a pull for me. I'm definitely interested, but because I love the kids. Like the fact that I didn't know it was starting out because I love Stargirl, the show, a lot. I think it's one of the best comic book shows we've gotten. And the fact that I got to spend time with all of them, I love all of JSA. So I'm stoked to see where this goes. I like the interpersonal conflict. I think it's so far it's been blended very well together. They've been balancing between the storylines, unlike if you want to compare it to Uncanny, who's not been doing that as well. This is doing that in between all of them. I'm excited to see where it goes. And thanks for letting me hang out, you guys. I hang out longer.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yes.
Come back.
Please.
I would love to.
Yes.
Next time I'll read everything properly, I promise. I'll read Ultimates.
Even
you
for
guys.
us.
For you, I'll do it. That's a big ask. I'll do it.
Wow.
For you.
That should be the old reader, new reader when I join
Do
you. for the
Ultimates?
weekend.
Ultimates, yeah.
And I'll
But
do it for
maybe.
you.
Maybe. Thank you so much, Maddie, for hanging out with us. It's been a blast. We'll absolutely have to have you back on the channel. Do you want to let people know where they can find you and all that good stuff?
Yeah, I'm on Nearman Condition. I host a show on Tuesdays called Old Reader, New Reader. I also just show up places sometimes. I'll be back on Tuesday on Old Reader, New Reader talking about X-Men. Which X-Men? I don't know. It's Omar's birthday month. So I'm sure he's chosen X-Men that I won't like, and I'll disappoint him. We'll see. But you can check me out there.
Awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll see you
Thanks.
later. Take care.
Bye, guys.
All right, that's Wonder Maddie from Near Mint Condition channel. She's always a blast. Hopefully next time we can have her for the full show so she can get the full Comics Pals experience. But yeah, that was fun.
Good time.
yeah.
Good guests. Good thoughts. Good opinions.
Definitely. Secret Six, 43% of you did not buy or read it. Pass was 38%. That's a huge amount. You guys did not care about that book at all.
I would
Go ahead.
I would recommend people check it out though. It's a number one. It's just a hors d'oeuvre, you know?
Sort of get it. Dreamer is sort of a character that is, being shoved down our throats a little bit.
Boy, here we go. You gonna call her Mary Sue next? Wait, actually.
Well, but Nicole Maines is a new writer, and there's not a ton of heat on the Secret Six, and John Kent's got a lot of stink on him.
Secret Six is still kind of a niche property. Like, it's had 2 main runs so far, both by Gail Simone. One post New 52, one before. Or yeah. So like even then that was like, oh, if you're reading this, you know how good it is. But it was still kind of a sleeper hit back when it was coming out.
Yeah, I think for fans of John Kent, this isn't doing what you want, and that is always going to be a problem until DC does something with John beyond this. That's just going to be an issue. So we'll see. Let's talk about JSA though. JSA number 5. This is written by Jeff Lemire with art by Diego Orlotegui, colors by Luis Guerrero, letters by Steve Wands. This was the listener pick poll winner this week. You guys chose JSA, which I was a little surprised by, but I'm happy with because I do quite enjoy this book. This week, though, the books that you can vote for are X-Men number 13, which has 14% of the vote right now. Transformers number 18 at 18% of the vote. Green Lantern Corps number 2 at 32%. And Batman Dark Patterns number 4. Batman Dark Patterns first arc ended, and so we're putting it to you guys. Do you want us to continue with it on the show, or would you rather not? So far, it looks like you want us to, but we need more votes to solidify that. So
Oh yeah,
get on out there and vote.
do it.
JSA, though, this is continuing the arc that we've sort of been on where the JSA are fractured. Some of the team members have just straight up been kidnapped by these villains, and some of them are taking the fight right to the bad guys. But in the midst of that, there are issues within the team, and I think that's what keeps bringing me back to this book and enjoying it is the inner strife amongst the JSA themselves.
This book continues to be a lot of fun. I think the the consistency of the character interactions, the consistency of the art, and I think the pacing as well. I believe it was last issue where we kind of just like spun off with the two characters, but I think this brings us back to like a fuller group. We are doing we have three characters here now, plus Kid Eternity in the mix. Gentleman Ghost continues to be a cool, potent like floating antagonist around here.
He's got a horse. Is that new? I don't remember that.
I don't remember that, but I dig it, and uh, I think the this is just felt consistent. It's not. It didn't have the high of number one and number two, but I think that's only because it was brand new and we didn't know what we were getting. Now that we've settled in, it's felt at like an average 70-80%. It's just a strong book that I look forward to reading every week, and for that yeah, a lot of fun.
This feels like just solid, good comics. Like I don't think it's amazing. I don't think it's breaking any kind of mold, but I think it's doing what it needs to do very well. It kind of the thing that it reminds me the most of, strangely, is almost like Young Justice, the TV show, where it's just solid superhero storytelling. A lot of characters, they each have their own purpose, and we're kind of checking in with them throughout. And I think it's paced actually pretty well too, because there's a lot that happens in each issue. This issue notwithstanding, we have Hawkman gets freed in the first two, 3 pages. So there's a lot of different people, and you're jumping back and forth between them. I think somebody in the chat said they wish there was a recap page, which I can maybe agree with. But I do like how it's so wide spanning, but everyone's kind of getting their own time.
Yeah, no, I'm with all that. I echo everything. This is great. That's all I have to say about it, really. Like, the art's great. I guess my one nitpick is that Hawkwoman swoops in and doesn't smash someone with a mace.
She cuts
what the fuck is that?
She cuts the rope.
Not yet.
I thought those pages were great, though. I actually got to put that on the Palace preview. I think the Diego Orlotegui, please somebody help me pronounce that. But I think the art is really good. Like that whole demon scene in hell, right there in hell. There's a lot there. There's so much there. And it just looks damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this book is awesome. It just continues to hit. Jeff Lemire, he still got it, and a lot of people would say he never lost it. And I think, for those of us who've read with Black Hammer, that's where you can find a lot of his stuff these days. I'm happy to have him back doing superhero stuff, like core Marvel DC superhero stuff. This is a whole world of characters that I know nothing about. The character that I'm most familiar with here is like Wildcat 2. or yeah, Wildcat, right? Or am I?
You're talking about
Yeah,
the
yeah,
woman
Wildcat.
Wildcat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Lady
But-
Wildcat.
Latina Wildcat. Yeah.
Yes, yes. But it's just a lot of fun. This feels like really strong, good superhero storytelling. It's not gonna make my list at the end of the year or anything like that. But I'm having fun.
Yeah, when I see this in my pull list when I'm reading books, I'm not disappointed. I'm not skipping it to read something else. I'm getting to it right away, and I like
Yeah.
that about a book. It's just good Saturday morning comic cartoon style stuff.
And it's like it's got a quick pace.
Very.
Like I feel like I'm not taking a ton of time to read it, but I also feel like I don't need to.
It's
Well,
it's not it's compressed storytelling. It's
Yeah.
more it kind of has a kind of a retro feel to it in terms of the storytelling. It's not decompressed. We're not dealing with pages on pages of conversation. It's to the point.
it's also not necessarily like that episodic, like in the sense that we're still following this through line from the start to the end. Like we've been the Tower of Fate's been under attack for a while now. We've been in this environment for a while now, but that doesn't matter because it's those interpersonal dynamics. Um, and I really continue to like the tension between Jade and Sandman, the hospital scene, where they're trying to figure out what's going on. Even though we know things are kind of happening in the background and up in the air, they're still trying to figure it out, which is cool to see. It's cool to see them in a state of worry because then they get to react in meaningful ways.
Yeah, I'm with Marco on all that. I love that point. Like, if you compare this to Absolute Wonder Woman, they're both similarly stuck, but this one feels like it's keeping its momentum going by leaning on its character dynamics, and that's keeping me hooked. There's a pull.
Yeah,
Easy.
cool.
Yeah, this is a pretty steady pull for me, month to month.
Yeah.
But I'm also excited. Like, it's nice to see Jeff Lemire back at the big two doing some real quality work. But like, I don't think he's like breaking the mold at all. But Absolute Flash is where I think he might do that. So that I'm excited for a lot.
Well, this is where the mold's coming back.
Yeah, it's remaking it more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
58% of you say pull. Didn't buy a read is 29%. Pick of the week 9%, and pass only 3%. I like that. I like that.
It's good numbers. Good numbers on the board. I feel like it reflects our opinions even. It's just good.
Yeah. Comic book history. No, Absolute Superman didn't come out this week. It's next week.
We'd be talking about it if it did.
100%.
And Gore, I would love to understand what about Lemire does not work for you. I feel like typically, especially in the indie space, top creator there.
Comparing Jeff Lemire's indie work to his big two work is a little unfair.
Yeah.
I think it's
Well,
fair to
but-
say his big two work has not been the best.
I guess I only know a couple runs. I mostly know him for his indies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like at his big two, I think the most notable stuff he did was like,
Moon Knight.
did he even do Moon Knight?
Yeah, he
He
did.
did. Jeez, I totally forgot about that run. Oh yeah, I remember
Big
that. Yeah,
fan out here.
he did. Green Arrow is probably the one he's probably well known for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then-
Terrifics.
Was that him?
Was that him?
Everything else that he did, I guess, aside from Terrifics, like he really hit his stride when the New 52 happened, and I think that hamstrung him a bit.
Oh, Animal Man.
He really seemed like he was going to be like, and we've talked about this a few times, but Jeff Johns, successor to a certain degree, and that ended up sort of passing him over. And then it kind of felt like he faded into the background and then started just doing everything he wanted to do in the Black Hammer universe. And it seemed like that was where he was focusing his energy more. So his indie work like flourished, and now he's back.
Yeah, I think this Marvel stuff was really kind of put him down in terms of the big two. He was doing like Extraordinary X-Men. He co-wrote Inhumans versus X-Men. He did a really good Century miniseries that think people should check out. But like that was deconstruction of superheroes, which he then did more in with Black Hammer. But it's like he recharged there, and now he's back to doing this. And I think this is real good work.
Let's get to our last book tonight. Let's talk about Hyde Street, #4. This is written by Jeff Johns with art by Yvonne Reese, inks by Danny Mickey, and colors by Brad Anderson. In the last issue, we got introduced to a creature called the Matinee Monster. And we didn't know anything about that character. And this is the origin of that character. And it's it reminds me a lot of like Clayface, in that it's the story of an actor, an aspiring actor who, just wants a shot and he wants people to see him as a standout. But he's got some flaws. And those flaws lead him to Hyde Street. But he doesn't want to go down the same road, so to speak, that a lot of the other residents of Hyde Street do. And that is sort of what puts him on the road that we see him on at the end of Hyde Street #3 and his involvement there. And this even harkens back to that a little bit. What'd you guys think about this one?
Pick of the week for me.
Likewise.
I really felt like this had depth and emotion and substance that a lot of stuff this week just didn't. I didn't feel this week, and so this really stood out to me. And it just this sort of era of old Hollywood and like the story of actors behind these types of characters just really fascinates me anyway. And so that, on top of the, the Twilight Zoniness of it all, and the horror aspects and the consequences, and that it's just you could read this as a one and done and it would be fine, was A+ for me.
Agreed. Pick of the week. I didn't expect to feel so much. I didn't expect to get angry alongside Oscar, get frustrated alongside him. And I think also the page that really got me was the director speaking to him. It's early on in the book. It's like, it's in your eyes, right? And that carries through because then I just started looking at the eyes. That's all I would notice throughout the rest of it. And I feel like Reese was really trying to render that as well as possible. He would have shadows scrunched up on the face so the white would pop out, I felt, at a lot of times. And then that one page where he just screams out, "I'm the monster." Oof. So good.
Yeah, this was my pick of the week as well. Yvonne Reese is at the top of his game. This is like, you can go back to Blackest Night, you can go back to all that. This is him as good as only he can ever be. It's phenomenal. But the Jeff Johns of it all, this is a great story. I love the way his narration kind of harkens to Twilight Zone and makes you think about that, like it would fit perfectly in that kind of atmosphere and environment. But it's got all the pain and hurt and emotionality that the story needs to stick and land. And I love that it goes a way that's sort of different from what you would anticipate. This guy is a good guy. He's a decent human being. And all he wants is an opportunity to be seen for the talent that he believes he has. And it's the anxiety of an actor or any creative person where all you want is to be seen. But, here, the Hollywood machine is bogged down by, nepotism and sequels. Even in this world, that's the problem in Hollywood. And so this guy can't get a shot. And when he thinks he's going to get that shot taken from him, he has a slip and he kills someone by mistake. And that's enough for him to end up on Hyde Street. But he's not going to go to Hyde Street and play the game. He's going to go to Hyde Street and be the man he was before. Not a monster, but a good man. Even when the nature of Hyde Street doesn't play to that. And we see him losing the things that made him the actor that he was, his eyes. He gets stabbed in his eyes. He takes the thumbtacks or whatever through the eyes. His tongue gets ripped out, so he can't even talk. He loses all of the things that allow you to be an actor. But he is still a good actor in the sense that he is allowing himself to be a good man on Hyde Street. This is just so good. I love Hyde Street.
This would have been my pick of the week if I didn't have as much fun as I did with Ultimates. I really enjoy this as well. I'm a big fan of this era of Hollywood too that they kind of deal with here. I mean, Cale, you've listened to Thrilling Adventure Hour, like here in Lon Chaney Jr. Yeah, it was like, oh yeah, I know, I can hear that kind of transatlantic accent coming from these people. And even the fact that they were able to put the actual movie posters in the background, I thought was like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't know that you could do that. So that was cool. I was just as a history fan, like hearing these names, I was like, oh hell yeah. And like this would have been in the Universal lot, which is like a stone's throw away from where Jeff Johns might have even been writing this book in the WB lot. So it's just cool that he is just he's just a fan of that era and of that time and of probably movies at the time too. So seeing that shine through, I thought was really good. But again, it's the thing Jeff Johns does where he can force the reader to sit with a book. He controls the time of it. He controls the timing and what the reader gets to experience. And that bit where he's in the makeup booth, and it's just, I think it's 4 panels stacked on top of each other. And each panel he progressively has more makeup on and more prosthetics on. But all you can really see of him is his eyes. And Marco called it out. That is the theme throughout. And it gets stolen away from him at the end. That was really good. It's really fun stuff. And I do like how there is a lot of world building here that I was not expecting out of this book when it was announced. And it continues to surprise me every issue. And I think if you're not checking this out, you should be. It's really good stuff.
And not your pick of the week, dude?
I like killing Nazis, unlike you guys. Jeez.
Dude, you had one job, dude.
What are you,
It would've been the
sympathizers, huh?
first unanimous pick of the week.
Of the year. I was going to say, yeah, there's not. Well, you know what? Screw your Excel spreadsheet, okay?
Yeah, this was so phenomenal. And it's like, this might be the best Ghost Machine book right now. Rook is on hiatus, so not counting that.
Yeah, I have to catch up. So. Hornsby and Halo, I have to catch up because I unexpectedly liked that a lot.
That one I haven't been as hot on, actually.
Really? Damn.
Yeah.
That one caught me by surprise. Yeah, I think as of right now, this is the hottest one. And Rook, yeah.
I like this a lot. This just scratches a lot of my itches. So this might be my favorite out of all of them, including Rook. I like Rook, but I like what's happening here.
Oh, this is my favorite by a mile.
Oh, this has you written all over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucas Hallner says, "Did you guys read the bio at the end?" Yeah. What about it? Was there something specific that called to you?
Because it was just the content of this issue. It wasn't. I didn't think there was anything special about it.
Yeah, I'm looking back. Like, did I miss something? I thought it was just like a.
I don't read those. I'm a bad comic reader. As soon as you show me a page that isn't comics, I dip. Especially at the end.
I did just want to shout out one last moment because it's what really pushed it over the line for me was after the murder or after that death, the description of where is it? Only to fall victim to a Mole Richardson Sr. solar spot at the age of 31, his skull splitting open with a sickening crunch. He's leaning heavy into this like descriptiveness, and then Oscar's just standing over the body. We see it displayed center panel. Love it. It's sticking out of the boxes as well, so it's like really bringing it to the forefront for you. And he says he ran off set, then pretended to find Mr. Mitchell's body after the accident had taken his life. It was the greatest role Mr. Oddman had ever played, that of an innocent man. I'm like, oh, done.
Yeah.
You know what? Take my money.
That's some Rod Serling shit right there.
Yes, I heard that in my in my head, dude. I heard it right there. That of an innocent man.
Yeah.
Pick of the week, easy.
See,
Not easy, but
for me,
Yeah, easy.
country mile
A whole country.
by a whole country mile. Two of them.
the listeners though not as hot. Didn't buy or read 43%. Pick of the week 34%. Poll 21%. Nobody passed though, so that's a good sign. That's a good sign.
No
But I
passing
think
is
more
good.
people should be buying this.
It's like there's no buy-in really. It's 4 issues. You got the whole thing. You don't need to know anything else.
And it's an anthology too. So
Yeah, it's an anthology with some through line in it, which
Yeah.
is pretty expertly weaved. Marco liked it so much he froze. Not losing the robot allegations there, Marco.
What happened? I froze. What?
You froze and you just froze in a weird spot, and then you came back, but like then you were live frozen.
I was trying to minimize like my movement so that my camera could catch up.
I
You
thought,
looked
I thought
robotic.
it was a bit.
Nope.
I love
Been a bad
I love bits where Marco it would be a bit for anyone else, but it's just Marco.
Victor Bettino says, I am so proud of Hyde Street and Ghost Machine in general. I think Ghost Machine has so far pretty much lived up to the promise, but we really got to get to see some more writers in the mix. Not having had First Ghost yet is a bummer because we've been promised that for some time. And then, we still haven't seen it. We saw one book from Maital. We still haven't seen anything from who's the black dude? I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but we haven't gotten anything from him. So I'd like to see more writers.
I think we'll probably get something from him in the second half of the year. That's what they were teasing in New York Comic Con at least.
Yeah. You know what? Last week was the last Thursday of February. And unfortunately, we, aka I, neglected to bring up the pick of the month. So we should run through that to determine what our pick of the month was for February. I don't even need to look at it. I already know mine was New Gods number 3. Incredible.
Marco, do you have a list of those for February?
Yeah, it updates every month.
It's in our chat.
It's in our chat.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought we saw it. For me, it was surprisingly Kaya. I love that
Wow.
standalone issue. It just
That
blew me,
much.
dude. It just blew me out of the water. And I wasn't on 2 episodes for work, but the book of the pick of the week for me wasn't New Gods. That for some reason has been not impenetrable, but I'm not as wowed as everyone else on it. It's excellent comics, but it's not doing the same for me as it is y'all. So, Kaya by Cale's Country Mile.
I love that, dude. Do you have any interest in going back?
We have all the Image stuff, so I actually got I think there's 3 trades that we've gotten so far from, or volume 4 is coming out next week, I think, or
Sounds right.
we got, I think, the advanced copy from Image. So I've downloaded them. I'm currently working my way through the deluxe for Radiant Black, so I'm waiting for that, and I'm gonna go to that.
Awesome, dude.
I guess I'm next on this list. Oh man, I might have to buy a shirt that just says Gooner on it because I'm going with Zatanna number 1. That one's still stuck with me. Some of the pages in that, just from art wise, the Campbell art, just blows my mind each time. um, the jumping that page where they're jumping in between the different realities that are like the old Coney Island style magician posters. Like, man, that's just so good. I also just love that kind of shit too. Like boardwalk magicians from the mid 1900s, and they're kind of leaning on that aesthetic here. I'm in.
Yeah, for me it's no question. It's New Gods. I said this last week or when we reviewed it, and I mentioned it this week. It's got me on the hunt for a complete New Gods collection. This feels like mythology being written to me. Like if you look at superheroes as just like your modern mythology, your Zeus, your your Hercules, your Aphrodite, your Ares, etc., etc. This is that old shit. This is Saturn and Titan and all those. This is what I'm interested in. Let's go. Rom is cooking. So yeah, this is for me.
I thought that I knew Cale would love it, but I thought Marco would be way into it.
I'm blown away by that.
Not there yet. We'll see. We'll give it some time.
Yeah.
Marco's a godless heathen. This doesn't surprise me.
Oh, that's a great point.
All about my feet.
Hayden's Hideout says, now that it's just the pals, Gooner pick of the week, Vampirella 675 cover E cosplay variant. You went,
All right, come on,
my brother, you went into the weeds. Now I need to see this.
Let's all do a collective Google.
Bro, just it's like somebody referring to you to like a specific file.
Yeah.
First of all, it should be cover G, right? Like we all know that. I'm not seeing. Oh, there. Okay, all right. Listen, dude. What are you trying to turn this stream into?
Those Dynamite cosplay variants are like, come on. I get it. Come on.
I've bought cosplay variants only for Red Sonja so far, and that is a Dynamite book, so I understand it. But it's Red Sonja. Come on, how could you not? Like I buy it because I like it. I don't buy it for the covers. Do you enjoy the Vampirella book? That's my question, Hayden.
I just looked it up. That is a Gooner cover.
Just for education purposes, who's that on the cover?
Marco said source. What's the at? What's
somebody get her OnlyFans.
No, hey, whoa, slow down. I just wanted who do we give credit to? That's it. That's all it is.
It's Rachel Holland.
Marco's checking his
Mark's
putting his credit card information in right now. Okay. Google, show me the guy's balls.
Part of my job as the Snowmaster is to know
Snowmaster.
The Snowmaster.
What are you?
The Winter Soldier,
upgraded.
The Snowmaster.
That just sounds like a snowblower.
Every month you get deeper and deeper.
He's Mr. White Christmas.
By the end of it.
Bum.
Unbelievable. Lucas Hallner says pick of the month was Transformers 16. Damn.
I'm just about caught up. I'm one issue behind. I'm gonna catch up to it after the show when I'm eating my dinner. I've been reading like crazy, guys. I'm almost up to speed. I'm like surprising myself.
From what I understand, that's the one we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's just say a good friend is possibly finally showing up.
Yeah.
Good to know. Crisis says, I'd love to join in some Comics Pals sometime, but woo boy, would I need to get my reading done early that quick. For those of you who don't know, Crushing Crisis does a live show every Sunday, American, and reads like 50 books a week.
Holy shit.
Which is insane. But if you could do 50 by Monday your time, you can do 6 by Thursday our time.
The exchange rate's there. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're in Wellington too. Wow. They're where I was.
Oh, so okay, all right. That's the connection. You guys can talk about that because Peter is a transplant as well. Matt
Wow.
Fisher with the 199 Snowbird Substack.
Already happened. I don't know if there's an episode 2 coming or not, but
Who knows? Who knows? If the people ask. Style So Serious says, "Can we get Tales of the Gunslinger spawn on the poll?" Ask Tyler.
yeah.
There it is. Get it done.
Who asked this?
That was Style So Serious.
Oh no, never mind.
Oh,
No, I'm joking.
no,
I'm joking. Put it on the poll,
Tyler,
it's fine.
don't
Put it on
ban
the
them.
poll,
No,
put it on the
Tyler,
poll,
reverse
Put it
that.
on the poll. Just put it on the poll. Depends on the week. Actually, there might be a big week where like no spawn room, but if it's a week where we can, maybe Cale might slip that one in.
when does it even come out? Because I'm looking next week. I don't see that shit.
It's
Oh,
Tales
I'd
of the
read it.
Gunslinger. That might be way down the list.
Yeah, let us know.
Yo, Chillmonger. The Blizzard Wizard, bro. Yo, keep him coming, man. We're gonna make a list so that every month he knows who to change into. So at some point, we're gonna convince him get costumes.
Oh my goodness, costumes. Oh yeah, the bunny ears. That's gonna be a
boy.
whole different territory
Oh,
we're getting
boy.
into. We start dressing up for money. The fuck
Deadly,
is this? OnlyFans?
Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger
Sorry, we?
Spawn.
No,
Yeah.
people aren't asking for us.
I'm
That-
sorry.
Okay, all right, fair. However, you, my friend, and Marco, both of you have dressed up before for free.
For free.
That's right.
And nobody asking me to do it for money. Believe me, I tried.
I'd put bunny ears on right now if I had them.
Yeah.
There's nothing stopping me.
Oh, my
March 19th. That's when the next Tales of the Gunslinger Spawn comes out. Number 4.
All right. All right. We'll throw it on for you, Styles. We'll see what happens.
If you guys don't vote for DC X Sonic the Hedgehog that week, I'm sorry. I'll put Spawn on the poll, but I need to. There is a child that I used to be that was a huge Sonic fan, and he's never grown up. I still am.
Hell yeah, but also you just made the point. Who the fuck is voting for it anyway? Who's gonna vote for the Gunslinger book?
That's true. I mean, I guess we don't have that data yet. We have presumed data.
Wait. You guys are telling me you want to do Sonic and Justice League?
Hell yeah.
I do.
Oh, I'm gonna be sick that week. I'm sorry.
I'm so hyped. You don't want to see Sonic and the Flash race?
The ad in this week's book made me nauseous.
I don't read ads, but I will read
barely
this book.
reads.
Marco, what the fuck?
Sean, I'm ready. I got you, dude. I got you. I came ready. I forgot this was a bit. Dude, I
We
came
know
ready.
what's in Marco's bedside table, okay?
First of all, Marco just
He
threw
did-
some fucking bunny ears on. But first of all, those look like the kinds of things you put on, like a headband when it's like time to go to sleep. You know, you put your hair up and shit like that, and it just has bunny ears on it for some reason.
That's where Marco got it at Ulta.
So we got yeah. So
Yeah,
it's when we do our bi-weekly face cleanses, the salts, all that kind of stuff.
I was gonna say you only clean your face bi-weekly. I'm like, geez, come on, your skin deserves better.
Ask him quick. Ask him to turn around too.
Turn around.
Oh no, he's gonna have bunny tail somewhere else.
Nah, there you go.
No. I did it.
Marco, are those yours?
These are actually Jade's.
I knew it.
Mine are bear ears.
Howard.
I couldn't find them though.
You don't really give me bear, actually, Marco. I don't know why you have
No,
bear ears.
You should be the rabbit.
You should get like otter ears, maybe.
Little koalas.
Sure, that's what I was referencing. Sure, don't Google anything I just said.
All right.
Unreal. Unfucking real. Matt Fisher with the 199 says, "So Cena heel turn." And I guess that's our cue to turn this conversation over a little bit. Because there was the Elimination Chamber. We're not going to go into like a whole review of it or whatever. I did happen to be there. I was in Canada. I went for that, and it was my first time outside of the States. So when we got booed to high hell so basically we're in Canada, they do the national anthem of the United States. And this place erupted in boos like you wouldn't believe.
Good.
It was crazy. Like I was surrounded by ops. Like these people fucking hated the United States. And I was laughing. I thought it was pretty funny that we were getting that reaction. But the United States were the biggest heels of the night. Fuck John Cena. It was the US.
I think those boos are what turned John Cena heel. You know, American, like good old American guy, you know? You're booing him? You're booing his country? I don't want to sound like Pat McAfee though. He got some heat for getting a little angry about that, yeah.
The biggest thing to come out of this event in general was the fact that the wrestler John Cena, most people are probably familiar with him. He's done a lot of movies and stuff like that. But his roots are in wrestling. And since the year 2004, he's been a good guy. He's been a good guy. He's been, hustle, loyalty, respect is his motto. And he's been the shining star of the WWE. And he announced recently this is his last year in wrestling. And he was going to go out, with a bang and do everything he can and try to win the championship. He's won 16 before. Nobody's ever won 17. So John Cena's trying to do that. And there's this match called the Elimination Chamber. And it's a massive cage-like structure that has a dome over it and 4 pods adjacent to the 4 poles of a ring. And 4 wrestlers are locked in each pod. And after 5 minutes, a new wrestler comes out. So it's a very crazy, dangerous match. And ultimately, John Cena was able to win the match. So what that means is that he will now go to WrestleMania to face Cody Rhodes, who's the champion, for the big main event, kerfluffle. So then Cody Rhodes comes out. He says hello to John. And then The Rock comes out. Now, The Rock, in a very zesty way, asked Cody Rhodes for his soul. He put his hand on his face and he caressed his face just like this. He put his hand on his neck, bro. He put his hand on his neck like he wanted to pull him in like this for a kiss, right? And he said, I want your soul, all right? So he said, I'll meet you in Canada and you tell me yes or no.
All right. About to change the hierarchy of the WWE.
Literally, Cale, you don't know how right you are. He couldn't do it in Hollywood. He couldn't do it at DC. So he went to the WWE and got it done. Because when Cody Rhodes told The Rock literally to go fuck himself, he literally said those words, John Cena embraced him. And with Travis Scott watching, Travis Scott, the musician, watching, he came out with The Rock.
He was lighting sage in the ring.
It wasn't Saturday, but there was another event where Travis Scott just came out with a blunt and was hitting it on
it was
Netflix.
Raw. It was the Netflix premiere of Raw. Yeah.
Wait, what?
He was just smoking it with Jey Uso walking into the crowd. Just
Jay didn't smoke. Jay Uso.
No, Jay didn't. Well, not with cameras rolling.
Jay says no to drugs, but Travis Scott's out there. John Cena gives Cody a hug, and then he looks at The Rock. He goes, you guys remember when kids used to do this stupid shit? Remember this? Like this? Remember that? He basically pulled one of those, and he started to beat the shit out of Cody Rhodes. And they whipped him, literally. The Rock pulled out a belt and whipped Cody. It was crazy. John Cena kicked him in the dick. And the best part was when Cody was on the ground, laying down, defeated, Travis Scott stands over him, puts his hand on his face, and puts his hand up and then whips down with a massive smack on the face that apparently ruptured Cody's eardrum and blacked his eye. But yes, John Cena, for the first time in over 20 years, is now a bad guy.
The Guinness Book of World Records just came up with a new record to give to John Cena for longest face time before turning heel. So now John Cena has a world record.
Wow. If Ray ever goes heel, he'll get that. But
Ray's been heel.
Not in WWE is what I mean. Like from 2002 to now, he's never been a heel. So if he were to go heel, that he would get that. But yeah, it was fucking crazy. It was amazing to be a part of.
Wonder what that old lady in the that interview is gonna think. Oh,
that old lady.
my dear friend he's a bad guy now.
Wait, what old lady?
You know the one is a British old lady. He makes her tea
We get
and
different
describes
news
what he
over
does.
here.
My
You guys
God,
haven't
I've
seen
never
that?
heard of this.
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's very good. It's very good.
I'm just curious if he does Break-A-Wish Foundation stuff instead of Make-A-Wish now.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, he's got to do evil stuff with that.
Is that a thing?
He's just giving people cancer now.
Marco.
Oh my god.
Unreal. Chillmonger says I was there too. We should have linked up. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't even think that you might have attended. Yeah, I hope you had a good time, dude.
Fucking Drake was there too, huh? Did you say hi,
Drake
Sean?
was there. Yeah. I didn't say hi to him.
It's his
I have no-
backyard.
It is, yeah.
They did not
The
announce
ghost
him
of
or show him
Drake?
on TV though.
Why would it be the ghost of Drake? Oh, right. Yeah. I get it. Matt Fisher with the 199. Kids were crying on camera.
Oh.
Dude, there were men crying on camera. Are you kidding me?
That's my favorite shit at sporting events. I love it.
It was one of those moments. It was something that I never thought would ever happen, and it did. It was incredible. I know that for a non-wrestling fan, it might be like, oh well, whatever, but it's just one of those things. Like, it's just one of those things. If you're a wrestling fan, you know how big of a deal this was. This was never thought I would see the day. Never ever. Lucas Hollner says CM Punk is on one right now. I need a triple threat or Punk versus Rock. That ain't happening. The Rock ain't getting in the ring at this year's Mania for sure. How did R-Truth take it? Says Ben Loudly. Go to his socials.
It's some good tweeting right now.
He doesn't believe it. All right. You guys know what time it is. It's stack time. Sean, Stack, this is the segment we do where we tabulate and you guys guess all the books that I bought this week because I buy a lot. Whoever is closest without going over will win a no prize or your pick of any of the Marvel books that I did purchase this week. So get those numbers in. Matt Fisher got in a 199, says Travis Scott has so much heat backstage. Well, yeah, because he slapped the shit out of Cody. That was crazy. Allegedly, The Rock told him to do that, but I don't know.
Allegedly, he's been in the ring practicing too.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a Bad Bunny versus Travis Scott match or something.
He said he wanted a ring in every house he has.
Oh, congrats! You're now a 12-year-old again, like everyone else had. You know, when we wanted that ring bed, I actually still want that.
Oh shit! Yeah, why not?
It
My
rips.
couch was a ring back in the day.
Well, mine was too, and then my brother did a swanton off of it and then split his kidney in half.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
fucked
yeah.
up. Oh my goodness. Yep, I see those numbers flying in. What's that, Marco?
Yes, Lucas Holner, no prize.
Absolutely.
What you get is shit.
That's right. That is right. As for my experience, though, in Canada, otherwise, it was fun. The most surprising thing to me was that people are nice over there. Like, I had to adjust to the cadence of Canadians. Like, they don't jaywalk, which I thought was really weird. Like, I fucking jaywalk all the time, but they don't. They just stand and wait. Like, why are you so polite? Fucking fuck that.
Say bless you when you sneeze and shit.
Yeah.
It's
God.
funny. It's funny because in other countries you actually get ticketed for jaywalking. Where like nobody gives a shit here.
Well, it's not illegal anymore here. Well, at least in New York.
You sure?
Yeah.
They just decriminalized it like a couple months ago. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yo,
dog.
I'm about to start fucking. No, I'm not.
What?
I do it in front of the cops. Fuck them.
Oh, I was gonna
Okay.
say I'm just gonna start walking into traffic.
Well,
I mean, you
and
could.
So many
You could do
people
that.
do it anyway. That like, what would a cop do in the first place?
I don't. I walk to the crosswalk.
Wow. Uncanny Suit says, I'm glad Sean didn't get roughed up by any Mounties. I don't think I saw any Mounties. I don't think I saw any of those.
You try
They're in the
poutine?
mountains.
I guess you can't have poutine because it's cheese
Poutine
curds.
would kill him.
Yeah.
What was interesting though was that at McDonald's, because I did have to go there, you have the choice. Like
to
now,
have to
you
go
go to
there.
McDonald's now, it's just fries as your side, but
Sure.
over there it was fries or poutine.
Oh.
Did you have any interesting food there at all? Like a steak?
I did have a steak. Yes, I did. It was very, very good. At a restaurant called Barbarians, and I felt like a barbarian.
Ooh.
Oh, you have to eat it like rare there. Come on.
No,
It's
no.
barbarians. Ah.
I got a medium well steak. And when I tell you that that
Alright.
fucking waiter looked at me,
Yeah.
he looked at
Good.
me like he wanted to take the knife for the steak and use it on me. Like I disrespected him.
Like
You did
like
medium well, though.
disrespected that meat.
Yeah, you did medium well, so you're on the way there because normally you do
Yeah.
well done. I think you said well done previously, right?
Normally that's my
Okay.
go-to.
And how
You
was it
probably-
medium well? It was good, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had medium well steak many times. It's
Let's go to
interesting
medium
because
next time.
sorry,
Let's try medium next time.
I've had medium steak.
Oh, just
It's
so
not like
tender and juicy.
I think it's not like a stance, you know. It's just like how I prefer it. But I'll try anything as far as steak goes, except rare. I don't think I want to do that.
Anytime we get to the steak talk, Nier is just popping off in the chat.
Look at these people.
Loves it.
You guys are heathens.
Yo.
We're heathens.
Yes.
Meanwhile, the waiters look at him like, you said medium rare, right? No.
Yeah, my girlfriend's like, "Oh, I'll take a medium steak," and he's like, "Oh, okay, great." And I said medium well, and he looked at me like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Like, you never had a steak before?"
Yo. So, you've never had a steak tartare?
I've never had
Damn.
steak tartare actually. I've always wanted it. Yeah,
So
great.
good.
I've had
That's
like
great.
a raw steak, like almost like a flambéed steak on a sushi roll before. So a little bit of
okay.
it was raw.
My first trip to Paris, I got fondue at a
Mm.
place, and I was thinking it would be a cheese, but what it actually is a great big pot of oil, and they bring you, all the sides and stuff, but they bring you all the raw meat, and you stick it in the oil, you cook it yourself.
What?
It's hot, like a hot pot almost, right? Almost.
I guess almost, yeah,
I
but
guess that's why it's cheese fondue. There's the
Yeah.
cheese fondue is Sean's kryptonite, by the way.
Can't happen.
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
happen.
Cheese
No.
anything.
Nier says, I got some steak fillets in my fridge, and now they're calling for me like the Green Goblin mask.
Man, I can't eat red meat right now,
What?
so I'm
Like,
jealous.
why do you guys have to come for my ass when I talk to you about my preferences?
I
Uncanny
ain't coming
Suit
for
said
your ass,
medium-
buddy.
What happened?
I ain't coming for your ass. This is some pause worthy. Where's BJ?
Uncanny Suit said medium well is a bit disgusting. Disgusting? Jesus.
I've
How
got
could you?
tires outside you could chew on if you.
Listen, if you're going to put salt on them and you're going to pepper them, let's
They'll
talk.
taste the exact same.
Let's talk.
That's all you need.
I mean, you could probably sell me on it if you prepare it well enough.
But
give it a shot.
agreed, salt, pepper is all you need, right?
On a rubber tire,
Well, I'm not saying a rubber tire. I'm saying
maybe
I'm
a
saying
little,
on
maybe a little bit of a what monosodium glucinate.
Oh, MSG.
Yeah. Do you carry that in your? Do you
I
carry
use it
that?
all the time. You kidding
Oh,
me?
it's so good. Put that on meat,
It's
man.
so good.
It's the best.
It's all propaganda. It's lies.
It's
very-
I don't-
racist. It's racist lies too. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll take this stance. I don't need a sauce, but I'll say it. I like a sauce.
Like
I'm with you.
fucking ketchup.
Well,
No,
no,
hold on,
wait.
hold on,
That's
hold
our
on, hold on.
president's
Hey,
favorite
that's
meal.
Hold on,
That's that
sit.
Spanish shit.
I'm from the beef capital of the world. Don't come at me with that shit.
Yeah, no.
Ketchup.
Maybe vinegar, right?
I've never
Every
had
Spanish
vinegar.
person I know has eaten a steak
With
with
cat-
ketchup. on
That's
it.
vile.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
vile.
Yeah, bro. My brother eats it like that still to this day.
That's how Trump eats. He eats his well done with ketchup, which
But my-
should be impeachable alone.
Yeah.
My thing is, you guys are talking about putting sauce on steak, and you're going to come for me. If a steak is good, it doesn't need sauce.
Oh, agreed.
Agreed.
No,
I
I agree.
agree.
Yeah,
Yeah, agreed.
but there
Then
are
why
some.
are you putting it on?
There are some like
'Cause I like
steak
it.
restaurants who have like made specific sauces that work well to enhance the other flavor profiles.
Yeah.
Like sometimes like a garlic butter sauce, maybe like a chimichurri as like just a quick little bit. It's good on some
Yeah,
steaks.
a nice blue cheese sauce.
Oh, I love blue cheese.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah.
I like to make I like to grill a steak with gorgonzola on top and then put it on a bed of arugula.
Oh, that sounds good actually. Cole says beef
Guys,
boys
we need it. We
spin-off
need
podcast.
guys, get your numbers in
Okay.
here. I'm too hungry now.
First of
Oh, they
all,
did.
Cole,
They done got him. Uh-oh. Somebody else might have to do it. My Firefox cannot handle
You're good. You're
the
good.
YouTube chat anymore. I'm so
Damn.
sorry. I
YouTube chat
failed.
crashes on me all the time too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not you. It's YouTube.
Oh, I got it. I can start
Okay,
writing them
Marcos
off.
got it.
Hit 'em.
Rami Darwish with 16. Then we got Near 14, Dan Trudeau 17, James Jones 19, Jake Cloutier 17, Hayden's Hideout 23, Lucas Hallner 14, Jesse with 13, Matt Fisher 19, Izzy's Issues 18, everything. Promiscuous Time Traveler with 12, Ted H, my guy 20, and that looks to be it.
okay, so we've got the 6 that you guys know about, what we talked about on the show today already. The Herculoids, number 1. Had
Oh,
to
you
grab
got it.
this. Yeah, dude. I want to see what they're doing. I'm excited to dig into that. Birds of Prey, Dan Panosian cover.
Nice.
Love that. Nice House by the Sea, number 6. I forget about this book all the time.
Yep.
Won't be reading that for a while.
Or ever.
I'll read it. I'll get around to it.
Do you have books in your stack that you've never read? Like
Yeah,
the whole
of course, we
series?
talked about that. Yeah, absolutely. This I'm doing on purpose though, because I just wasn't really connecting with it as a weekly or a monthly book.
You know,
Nice House is way better in the trade.
You could drop it then, Sean.
No, because I want to read it. I just don't want to
Okay.
read it. I'm not going to buy a trade, and I don't want to read it month to month. That's all. But I do have plans on reading it. Tin Can Society, number 6. The Immortal Thor, number 21. And Storm, number 6. That's it.
It's light week.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's light
That's
week.
it.
12.
12. Yep.
Who had that?
Oof.
Let me see.
Anybody have that low?
Sean, are you reading Storm? Have you caught up?
I haven't
Oh.
caught up, but I jumped back on board, I think, the last issue.
Looks
Yep.
like Promiscuous Time Traveler got it right on the
Yeah.
dot. 12.
Which
Wow.
isn't fair if he could time travel. So I
He's
called,
using
I
his
kinda
powers,
called
yeah.
bullshit
That's
on that
right.
one, yeah.
Yeah. Only one too. Everyone else all went over.
Wow.
Good for you, PTT. If you want to reach out to me for any of these codes, you know how to get with me. Thank you, everybody, for throwing those numbers out there. Yeah, light week overall. I was surprised by the lack of books that were intriguing to me this week. But next week is a banger. Next week is huge.
Lot.
Yeah, big week next week.
And if you, Tyler, I think you're muted.
No, I was just gonna say there's a big week next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you are curious what we're going to be reading next week, then you're going to have to tune in to Pal's Previews this Monday, where we're going to talk about and preview that week in comics for you guys. And then, of course, make sure that you come this Saturday live at 10:15 a.m. Eastern. We're going to be talking tariffs because they're in effect now. And what does that mean for us? What does that mean for comics?
They just got paused again earlier today.
All the tariffs?
Yeah, April 2nd. It's going back to April 2nd. It's a mess. It's a mess.
All right.
They
So I
might
guess
be
we-
back on by Saturday.
Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, Saturday's a whole different show at this point. Yeah.
We'll see where things stand, but either way, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and hopefully we will see you on Saturday no matter what we end up talking about. It's always fun. Until then, take care, guys.